This is the Senzan Line, one of Japan's steepest mountain railways that was also used as an experimental piece of infrastructure for Japan's first venture into AC railway electrification. So join me for a journey on Japan's regular narrow gauge rail network as we climb through the O mountain range on our way from Yamagata to Sendai. Welcome to Yamagata, the largest city and capital of the prefecture of the same name. And with our train departing soon, let's head into the station. The station is a fairly large complex, also connected to a shopping mall. But don't worry, there's good wayfinding and the signs are also provided in English. Directly connected to the station is a hotel. You'll also find Seattle's best coffee, as well as plenty of other stores inside the Espal Mall. The station also hosts a tourist information center, and if you haven't already got a ticket or a rail pass, you can acquire one from the machines across from the tourist information. And for a view of the trains from up above, make sure you walk across the footbridge. The train to our left will actually be the one bound for Sendai. Should you require any assistance with your journey, the station also has a manned ticket office. I'm traveling using a JR pass this time, and for this train there's no reserved seats or supplements to be paid, so it's just a matter of inserting the pass into the ticket barriers. The train information screens alternate between Japanese and English, so just wait a bit and we can see that our train will be leaving from track number 7. Behind the gate lines there's not any shops, but there are a few vending machines. There's not any catering service offered on our train today, so this is your last chance to stock up before the trip. Behind the gate line there's also some toilets. But now I think it's time we head down to platform number 7 and find our train, as it will be departing shortly. In addition to the Senzan Line, the station is also served by the unelectrified Aterazawa Line. And the train departing in the background is actually one of the mini Shinkansen series that also serve the station. My video on this very special high-speed train is already out. Make sure to check it out by pressing the card in the top right hand corner of the video. And here's our train. This is a JR EAST E721 series train. Built primarily by Kawasaki, they come in 2 and 4 car variations and can operate at speeds of up to 120 km per hour. This is indeed the service bound for Sendai, so let's head on board. As mentioned, all seating is unreserved, so we can just go and grab any seat we fancy. So I think a bay here will do just fine. We begin our journey on time from Yamagata. And as we make our way out of the station, you might be inclined to think that this is a normal double-track railway line. But this is actually not the case, as the other track was converted with the introduction of mini Shinkansen services to Shinyo to standard gauge in order for the Shinkansen trains to use the line. This has led to this interesting junction south of Usan Chitose Station, where our narrow gauge tracks has to cross over the standard gauge line in order to branch off towards Sendai. And as our train now starts to curve away, I think it's about time we take a look at the route map for today's journey. We are catching the 1201 service, which leaves from Yamagata as a rapid service, meaning we'll only make selected stops at a few stations along our route before arriving into the train's final destination, Sendai, after having covered 63 kilometers in 1 hour and 20 minutes, giving the train an average speed of 47 kilometers per hour. And as we are now heading east in the direction of the mountains, we see the larger hills starting to appear. And as a rapid service, we skip most of the tiny halls serving small communities. And as we are rapidly gaining elevation, we start to see some of the first snowfall. However, with the line being mostly single-tracked, our progress is slightly hindered when we have to slow down and meet with another train. This is the case here in Yamagata, where we have to cross paths with a local service bound for Yamagata. With the line clear, we can also start to move. And before we get too far up into the mountains, I think it's about time we have a look at the train's interior. I really like how you can see into the cab. It's just really cool as a train geek. And you can almost head into the cab when multiple units are connected. It's nice being able to access every part of the train, especially on busy services. The layout in the next carriage is largely identical, with also a cab and a guard seat. By the doors you will find some very simple dot matrix displays giving you journey information. The seating layout is in a very standard 2+2, mostly base of 4, with some longitudinal seating as well. There are sizable overhead racks, and you will also find a toilet on board, of the accessible kind. As is typical of Japanese trains, it was spotlessly clean and fully functional. Moving further down, the layout is again largely identical. So instead, let us just enjoy the views as we make our way through the beautiful hilly snowy scenery. In addition to the line's importance as one of the few ways of getting across the mountains, it also played a large role in Japan's experimentation with AC electrification. In 1953, the former Japanese National Railway Company set up a study group to look into AC electrification and if it could be used and provide benefits to the Japanese railway network. A section of the Senzan Line was chosen to convert into a system that could alternate between DC and AC electrification due to the sufficient space in the timetable to allow for testing and because of the steep gradients that would allow for suitable locomotive load tests. The test ultimately ended up being an overall success as the line was gradually converted into full AC electrification, with many of the findings from the test later used to build the new trunk lines for Japan's railway network we know as Shinkansen today. We are now arriving into Sakunami, where we meet with another service after having successfully made our way across the mountain range. And as it won't be long before we arrive into Sendai, I think it's about time we take a look at the seats. Well, there's not much to them. You'll find a large luggage rack on top. There's plenty of grab handles. The seats themselves are comfortable enough for a journey of less than 2 hours, but doing much longer on these I would be quite disappointed. As our train approaches Sendai, the line gets a lot more urban, with frequent stops and the line basically acting more as a commuter railway rather than a regional one. And eventually we start approaching Sendai railway station. A ticket from Yamagata to Sendai will set you back 1,170 yen, or about 7 euros, which seems like okay value for a reliable regional rail trip taking 80 minutes. You can also use this line without any surcharges using a JR rail pass. We arrive into Sendai terminal on time at 13:21 after a pretty unremarkable journey through beautiful scenery. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as I try to upload a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at IntercitySimon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.